Did I show up in my
All right, we're recording. We're on. Okay, welcome to Cannon Club cooking class. The first thing I'd like to show you is a couple little tidbits of information. If you can see what this says on here, it says iodized table salt. Where does this go? Goes on the table, right? This goes on the table. I don't cook with this. When I bake with it, that's what I use it for, the bake. This is what I use all the time. I use iodized or kosher salt. Why? Less salt, more flavor. So whenever you do it, I always keep, not this much at home, obviously, but I always keep kosher salt to use, and that's what I use to cook with. All right? The second thing I want to talk to you about is, in your recipe, it calls for stock. We don't make stock. We don't make chicken stock. So when you go out to buy something, try to avoid powder. One thing, if you can see that, the first ingredient says salt. So there's more salt than anything else in this product. There we go, that's it. Salt. More salt than anything in this product. It's not a bad thing, but it's not the best. If you look at this product, the first ingredient is vegetables, right? This is a vegetable base. So when it says salt, you avoid it. It's going to be the cheaper of everything, but it's going to have a lot more salt in it. So if you do use this, be careful whatever salt you're going to use inside that. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to look at doing our chicken. I got these chicken. Now you can see the size of these chicken breasts. You can probably just put that down. Right. Yeah, that's perfect. If you look at the size of these chicken breasts, they're huge. But one thing you won't be able to cook that. So there's two ways to get around that. Angle that up a little bit. Two ways to get around that. One way is we could cut them or we can pound them. So the first way I'm going to show you is I'm going to cut them into what's called scallops. So I'm doing this nice thin cuts. I'm going across the grain of the breast.
Do you need a very sharp knife for that?
Always use a sharp knife. Okay, so here's our slices. So we can use this, or if you don't want it so small, we can cut this in half this way. Right. There's two. So I'm going to do this instead. We're going to cut these in half like this. Okay, so now we have 4 pieces of chicken for us to use. Okay, so what are we going to do with these? We need to pound these out a little bit. So I'm going to get a piece of plastic wrap. Get a piece of plastic wrap. And you want to cover them with plastic because when you pound them, you don't want the chicken to go flying all across the room. That's what will happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it under this. We have our mallet right here. So if you don't have a mallet, you could use your frying pan. Just pound them. The thing is you want them to be on the thin side, and you want them to be even in thickness. Why do we want it even in thickness? Because if it's even in thickness, it'll cook even. Sorry about the noise. We got all our chicken breast. And you can see how it kind of mushes out. Thank you. How it kind of mushes out. That's a culinary term, mushes out. But they're nice and thin. They're not too thick. All right? Okay. Turn my water down here. Okay, so what we want to do now is we're only going to prepare 3. So put this one aside. With our close-ups. And we're going to take a sage leaf and just put it on top of each one. We're going going to take our nice thinly sliced prosciutto. Beautiful. This is prosciutto di Parma. We want to wrap it. So since these chicken breasts are a little on the big side, use 2 slices. We're wrapping this over the sage because when we go to cook, sage will start to release its flavor. Okay. There's our prosciutto wrapped chicken. Now we're gonna dredge it in a little bit of flour. In the flour, I'm gonna add salt and pepper. You do it liberally. Make sure it's nice and mixed. Okay, so there's our chicken ready to go. Now, before we do our chicken, we're going to do a little pasta with this today. So in the pasta, we're going to put some mushrooms, some spinach, right? Mushrooms and spinach, and I have some sun-dried tomatoes. So the one thing I wanted to note about the spinach is that you want to clean stem off. Some people leave the stem, other people don't. I like to pick the stem off. So this way it's not a pleasant thing to eat. So there's our spinach. The mushroom, we're just going to slice them a little bit on the thicker side because we want to add it. It's going to add some texture to our pasta. And then our sun-dried tomatoes, we're just going to julienne these.
It's julienne.
Julienne is like a matchstick, like a sliver. Okay. So in our pasta, a mushroom, roasted sun-dried tomatoes, some spinach, and a little bit of garlic. So now we're going to get our pan nice and hot. And I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil. We want to make sure that the pan is fully covered in oil before we do that. Now, I'm also going to chop the spinach rough real quick. This way, people aren't, it's easier for them to eat small pieces than this big. So we're just going to cut this real quick. Okay. Good. So we're going to dredge our chicken in the flour mixture right here. And you're going to see, actually I'm only going to do 2 of these breasts because of the size of the pan. You want to make sure that the pan is hot, and when you put the chicken in the pan, put it with the prosciutto wrapped side down. So this one ready? This one.
How do you know when the pan's hot?
Oh, it'll tell you. First of all, you can look in the pan and you'll start to see the oil to crackle. You can see it starting on the edges here, right on the edges. Plus now I can actually even smell the extra virgin. Do that little sizzle. That's what we want. Okay. Let it cook. Don't mess with it. Don't touch it. Don't start flipping it around. Just let it cook. Let it do its job because the pan will start to sear everything together. You want the chicken to cook through. I have the heat on medium, not too high. And we're going to let that cook for just a minute. You want it. Okay. So I already cooked some pasta ready to go for our pasta side dish, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the pasta water and how to prepare the water. You want it to taste like the ocean. You want to put a lot of salt in it. And why is that? Because salt adds flavor to the pasta. So when you do it, you don't have to taste the water, but be very liberal, be very generous. When the water comes to a boil, then it's ready to you're ready to put in your pasta. Now, you want to make sure there's a lot of pasta or a lot of water in the pot because you need a lot of room for the pasta to move or for it to rotate. So if it's a little bit of water and you have a lot of pasta and it doesn't have room, it's going to start sticking together. So we're going to drop some pasta. Now I already have some cooked, ready to go. So this is just going to be a quick little demo on that. I can smell my chicken starting to cook, and I'm just going to take a peek at it. Good, it's starting to get a nice little crust. I'm not used to this induction, so we'll see how this goes. Okay. Any questions? No? Oh. And there goes my phone. Okay, so we're actually going to use in the pan, we're actually going to use everything in the pan for our sauce, which will be with the garlic, the lemon juice, the white wine, the chicken stock. Now the chicken stock I made from base. I didn't make fresh homemade chicken stock, obviously, because we don't have that here. So we're just going to let that crackle for a minute. While that's going, I'm just going to take this pasta out. So we're ready for our new pasta. And I'll be right back. So now you can see the chicken starting to get opaque. You're getting a little bit of color, especially on the prosciutto side. So we're going to turn this over, and we're going to continue to cook on this side. Again, a medium to low heat, maybe 3 or 4 minutes on each side. That's all it's going to be. So you can make this dish and do different sauces with this. So you can do a marsala sauce instead of the white wine. You would use marsala, maybe a lot more mushroom. You can do a lot of different things. This is a basic technique of sauteing and making everything right in the pan. So I want to try to lean towards doing more technique as opposed to just one particular dish. All right, so if you get a close up on the chicken, you can see the prosciutto almost looks like bacon, and that's what we really want. We want it to be nice and crisp, have some color to it. And we got about 3 more minutes. Do a little housekeeping. Okay, so we're going to fast forward a little bit. You can see our chicken's looking pretty good here. And this is the presentation side right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw a little bit of garlic. And then we're going to throw in our mushrooms because they're going to cook. They're going to need to cook.
This is for the pasta or for the chicken?
This is for the pasta, but you don't have to add it to pasta. You can put this right over your chicken.
Or eat it out of the pan?
Or eat it out of the pan. I'm just going to add a little bit more oil. And we're going to turn this up.
So it's okay to add oil while you're cooking?
As long as it's a small amount and it gets hot very quickly. Now, you don't want your garlic to burn. And you see all the brown bits on the bottom? That's actually a good thing. That's called fond, F-O-N-D. And that's going to help make our sauce. So I'm going to throw our sun-dried tomatoes in there and our spinach. We're going to let that cook for a minute. A little pinch of salt and pepper. Butter. It's about 2 tablespoons of butter. Now is when we're going to, a little bit of white wine and our chicken stock. And you can see the way the sauce is starting to pull together on the edges. We're going to drop our chicken in there just to help eat it through again. Right? Put a little pasta in our boiling water, our pre-cooked pasta. And we're going to get ready to do our presentation. So, we're going to take our chicken out.
Oh, you got Donovan.
And our chicken is on the side. We're going to throw our little bit of lemon juice in there. And then at the end, we're going to put our butter. Now, our butter is very important. It's got to be cold, and you just want to swirl it in. Hey, Donovan.
Hey, Bill, how's it going?
Good. How are you, bud?
Good.
You might be in a bad area.
No, now try again.
Okay. Then we're going to take our pasta out. Put our pasta in.
Oh, right on top.
Right on top. Nice little mix. Parmesan cheese.
Oh my gosh, that looks good.
Nice little mix. And we're going to put our pasta on the side. Garnish with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. There you go.
Oh my God. Bill, is that going to be on the menu?
There's
When
dinner.
we come
Oh,
back?
it'll be on the menu,
Too bad we can't just put it into the computer for you.
right? Just
Put it in the
television.
CD slot. I know, Donovan, it looks special. I have to say.
So that's our dish for today.
It looks so good.
We'll get this out on the internet. We'll get some people to look at it, and we'll go from there. Thank you for joining us. I hope everybody's well.
Oh, that looks so good. I'll probably make that tomorrow. I just bought some chicken and pasta at the store.
Hey, if you want to walk through it again, let me know, okay?
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Give me a call.
Heck yeah.
All right,
You
bro.
recorded this, right? You're going to send it out?
I am, yes.
Awesome. All right.
All right, pal.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Sorry I was late. But,
No worries.
it was good seeing you, Bill.
Ciao.
Thank you so much.